Welcome back. Progress so far. We've got the chimes working, we've got the meter completed, the carousels together, the wooden base is finished with the number 8 and 9 engravings, each one individually numbered. Remember, these two will be available for purchase on my Etsy shop and website when they're complete. Thank you very much. Now, this is very exciting. You've got all the rest of the brass coloured parts painted up and ready to install. Lots of exciting parts to make the control knob from. Now I need to solder wires on here ready to connect to the Arduino, and I can't find a record of how to do that anywhere. All it says on my plan of the Arduino connection, switch A and switch B. Very helpful. I'll go and check a couple of the making of photos. Very useful. I've used blue wires to connect both up, so I've got no idea, and I can't follow through the spaghetti where they actually go. In setup it says switch higher number, switch lower number. Another clue. What a palaver. After much consultation of Arduino sketches, I think I've figured it out. Fabulous. There's the rotary switch on the inside, nicely supported. Oh, look at that, the 3 positions that we need. And from the outside, it looks lovely. Wood, brass, and the red felt disc here. I'm going to work on the curved switch indicator that goes there. Now I've cut out 2 of these curved pieces, and I have designed it with the radius being such that the laminate engraving plastic should go around without cracking. Let's give it a go. So there we have the layout for the laser cutter. Black cutting, but prior to that the red engraving, raster engraving, because the text is so small. The engraving laminate is quite flexible, so first thing anyway is to get it engraved. Right, a little bit of the old aide-memoires to get the soot off. It doesn't happen with the other, with acrylic, but because this isn't acrylic, you get a little bit of soot, as you can see. I believe, having thought about it, the only way I'm going to do this is to put super glue on that and that. I've roughed up both surfaces in preparation, and then sit here watching a horror film, holding that like that until it's set. Well, that's not bad. I held it for a while until it was set, and then put a nice strong rubber band around. The ones from the Net Throbble timer kit. That's the Net Throbble timer kit. I'll leave this until all of the super glue has set, but it bent perfectly. I'm very pleased about that. I get the feeling there's a distinct possibility of doing the chime damper. There are the bases that are all sprayed up ready to screw on. I love the way the laser cutter can allow you to be so creative. As always, I'm marking it out. Well, I've marked it out height wise and from the centre to the side here, so I can get it lined up. Obviously that needs to be completely centred to the chime so it doesn't get in the way of anything. What I'm going to do now is endeavour to use these screws just to mark the holes. And then, as always, one of my favourite top tips, even though I say so myself, take that off now, I need that. A little countersink on each hole, so that when you put a nice big wood screw into it, it doesn't turf up all the wood and turn it into a little wooden volcano, which stops things sitting flat. Now that should screw in beautifully. So I'm going to get one of the dowels and assemble this damper, see what happens. Brilliant. I'll stop it before I speak because I didn't realise just how loud these chimes were. That's perfect. I'm really pleased about that. So I will go ahead, cut the top extra bit of wood off and paint it, stain it brown and fix it on. Get on with the other one. Brilliant. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm trying to watch stroke listen to Doom. As far as dialogue goes, it does leave quite a lot to be desired. Not half as good, it's not a very good conversion actually of a video game. I remember playing Doom on the first PlayStation and it was brilliant, so exciting. And some films translate, but this one didn't. Never mind. I remember listening to Cool Hand Luke, thinking, well, that'd be a nice film to watch while I'm working. There's no dialogue for the first 20 minutes, I think. It's been ridiculous. I'll try and find something with a little bit more dialogue. Let's talk lenses. While I was developing this, trying to work out how to get a scene, here's one that I made earlier, a long time earlier, cutting out and experimenting, and I was using layers of plastic to try and experiment with different techniques. Lego was brilliant because it meant I could adjust mirror positions and angles and all the rest. And I found that you could make it look a lot bigger with one of these, a lens. And this is a Fresnel lens, invented by someone called Fresnel, a French person. Let me move this to one side and I will briefly elaborate. This is a normal lens, this is a convex lens because it sticks out. And that's a magnifying lens, whatever else. And it is solid glass, or plastic or whatever else. This is glass. Fresnel discovered that you didn't have to have that dome throughout across the whole thing. If you started them with a series of ridges with the right angle on, it would work almost as well. This is actually from a theatrical light, and that's absolutely fine for that. It saves so much glass and so much weight and cost therefore, and it works perfectly. It still has the same effect as that one. Now, on my search for an appropriate type of magnifying lens, I came across these. Like you do, these are for people whose eyesight is going and they enjoy reading and they want to carry on reading books, and you lay it on a book and it magnifies it. And it is a Fresnel lens, lots and lots of very fine circles. What I'm going to do is to cut the middle out, so I've marked it to the right size, because now, very excitingly, we're starting to work on this assembly that holds the lens and decorates the front. Very exciting. I do like this bit because it's got a whole load of lovely M3 dome bolts, nuts. So that's great. First thing though is to cut it out, and because this isn't acrylic, and I think I did try it on the laser cutter and it really didn't work well, I've just drawn it out with masking tape on it. I'm going to cut it out with a pair of shears or scissors or something. So I will do that now. It's not very efficient because you waste all of that, but I found that if you didn't go with the centre within the centre of the concentric Fresnel pattern, it looked really odd. So we have a piece of wood, we have a piece of plastic, we have a lens, lovely, we have 3 pieces of 2mm acrylic as spacers to hold it all together, because the lens is 1mm and this acrylic is 3, and they just fit nearly sort of perfectly. Whatever, you get the idea. And then you have this on top, and a bit of a nautical theme I suppose, sort of Nautilus and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and all that. You have that with a row of these M3 dome nuts, which looks absolutely lovely. Just putting this on, and I notice, I suppose it's because it's under a bright light, but how on earth did that happen? It's not a piece of dust, I don't know what it is. I mean, this side is sitting up on the laser cutter. It is such a pain. Out with the wet and dry. There we are, I can see clean through it, and also see how subtle the gradation is with the 400 grade wet and dry. I'm going to get that painted up and do it again. The musical accompaniment today so far has been provided by the 3D printer, which has spent 5 hours 18 minutes printing another one of those kits. It's amazing. I only printed a load last week and already I've almost sold out and making some more of them on the side. Excellent. Let's talk movement sensing. Now, to help preserve the Climatic Revelators mechanisms and mechanics and things, and also to stop winding people up in the night when they're trying to sleep and they don't want to listen to chimes all night, I use one of these incredible things. Let's zoom into its incredibility. You can see how small it is. It's got 3 pins on the back, which consist of a power supply, 0 volts I think, plus 5 volts, and an output. It's an incredibly small PIR sensor. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely incredible. I need a way of mounting this. In other machines I've used the larger ones, which are much cheaper. I mean, these I think are £20 each, but I mean, they're just so small and very, very convenient. If I was going to add one of the larger ones that I've used on the other machines, it means that I'd have to add quite a substantial lump to the proceedings, which I don't want to do. So what I'm doing currently is to work out how best to mount one of these unobtrusively, well, obtrusively, but in the right fashion. So I'm going through my collection of plumbing fittings, which I've ordered specifically for different machines I make. I found these two, and I think this time I'm going to use one of these. The other great thing about having a PIR sensor on it is that when you come down in the morning, first thing, or after an hour's break, when it hasn't seen any movement, it can come back to life. And that's when the meter fades up nice and gently, and it'll play a lovely greeting tune. It's especially exciting with the Gregorian scribulator, because you don't want to miss it drawing the day, date and month each day, so it waits until it first sees you before it does so. Here's one I prepared earlier with the hole cut in the side very thoughtfully for this, and here's one of those fittings. I'm going to have to cut out a 3mm washer from another bit of ply, just so it can be nice and tight, but that can then sit there, PIR in the top, wires coming in to attach to everything inside. How exciting. Now, the way I did it before was like this. There's the fitting, there's one of these special things and another of these special things, and then the PIR sensor in the middle. Can anyone guess what these special things are? Here's one a little bit more detailed view of one. I'll tell you, I can't bear the suspense. They are rivets from jeans or trousers or clothing. And they come in packs. I found these ages ago and I realised I've now run out practically. They are brilliant because they come with the back bit, and you're meant to put them through a hole, stamp them through fabric, turn over this back bit, and then it will give you something to poke a big bit of string through to hold your trousers. I don't know, whatever. Fashion isn't really my thing. I've got 3 different sizes. These small ones, as I say, are perfect for supporting that. These ones, and I've only got 3 left, are absolutely perfect for one of these USB things to fit through. I've got a hole in the bottom of the Climatic Revelator and several of the other machines that use Arduinos, through which I can plug one of these to update it, whatever, to change the software. It's too small to allow a normal USB connector to go in, so it's really nice, but I've only got 3 left. What am I going to do? And the bigger ones, which I think I've completely run out of, I used as a window in the chronological engine, just to view what's going on inside when it starts moving. Oh, and also the same style on the Gregorian scribulator, so you can see the mechanisms inside sort of working. Right, I'm going to have a hunt for one more of these. Annoying. Some might say it would be an idea to get some more drawers. I mean, I've got drawers. The only thing is, I've completely run out of wall space. There is nothing left. It's crazy. No space at all. So I really don't know what to do. I don't believe it. I can't use super glue for this because the gaps are too big. So I'm going to use rapid epoxy resin. Right, it's set. Fantastic. So now I need to fix the PR detector in there. I'm going to push it in. I think I'll put a little bit of super glue finally around the outside. These are now set. Brilliant. As I need a 68k resistor across the bottom, and I don't want to risk soldering directly onto these wires connections, I'm going to use a little bit of variboard behind each one. That way it'll be rigid, it'll support it all, and I've got somewhere to put the resistor. Right, got them soldered up. It's really nice. I'm very pleased with this, really pleased. It's lovely when you end up designing something that is so enjoyable to put together and works so efficiently and effectively. Just finished putting two of these together. Now that the paint has dried where I'd sanded it and repaired it, there are the 6 M3 screws at the back countersunk, and here's the front, and you can see it does magnify quite a lot. And that looks lovely. I'm so pleased just seeing the wood around the sides of the brass bit. It looks fabulous. I'm very pleased with that, and that sits something like there. So I'll get that fixed into place and then support the top of it with that lovely piece. Look up there, and then that should just sit above the carousel so it can turn freely. Well, this has worked well. That's lovely. I've sanded that now so it's flush with the back. Just took the top and bottom off. That looks lovely. So we'll get that, drill 2 holes there and get that screwed down. Some more notes, and fabulous. It looks so nice. And this just lines up perfectly, doesn't hit it. Brilliant. Right, I've got this end fixed down with 2 3/4 inch by 4 whatever round head brass screws. That's perfectly spaced above here. It fits over the centre lens perfectly. So now I'm going to put the top spacer on. So I've got all this lined up. All I need to do is to just give a little bit of a push and a twist on these screws. You get the idea. Fabulous. I forgot to paint the sides, so I made of some masking tape because I didn't want to risk spoiling the front. Oops, there you go. Look at that. Oh, fabulous. That looks so nice. And the main label sign. Just a simple one, you say. I'm sorry, that's not possible at Steamhead. We don't do simple here. It's interesting though when it comes to labelling machines. Look, this one I ended up putting on 2 brass tubes to lift it up, and it just looked nice there. You'd think it'd be simple to design a label, but labels do one of the things that take the longest time to design. Right, I'm just getting the Arduinos, 2 lovely brand new Arduinos mounted in place, and I cut out lots and lots of spacers in a laser cutter, and there's 4 under the Arduino holding them up, and this is screwed down with these beautiful number 4 or number 2 screws. Lovely. Smallest ones that I could find that actually fit through these little holes, and I've just glued down 4 more spacers ready for the motor interface. That's going there, and I'm about to screw in this. This was lovely to make, really nice to assemble. It's so lovely. You know, everything's got a place, it's all engraved so I know where to put everything. Lovely big finger joint, absolutely solid. And I've improved it, as you know, slightly because I've milled out a slot, because normally this would be sitting this way up when it's wall mounted, and any heat that forms on the heatsink at the back can then just have escape up these chutes or something rather. So exciting today. I do love it when the lovely colourful spaghetti starts appearing. Each of these separate bits has got its own connections. It is so enjoyable. As much as I love, well, I enjoy it as much as I love engineering parts. Well, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. Let's open one up and see what's inside. The anti-static casing. Earth myself on the soldering iron vaguely. Right, and that has not opened. Let's try again. And here we have it. Incredible how small everything has got. So this has got, I think I'll have to zoom in actually as well. This has got a barometric pressure sensor made by Bosch there, plus I think it's a voltage regulator and a load of resistors, possibly a capacitor, I can't remember. What it means though is that by connecting plus 5 volts and 0 volts ground, so 2 wires from this, the SCL and SDA connections on the Arduino, and it can read the barometric pressure to an accuracy of 2 decimal places. Absolutely incredible. So no, not loads of wires, just 2. Right, I've got even more wires now, and there's the pressure sensor down there. And the most, I do love this bit, especially my special favourite parts are having a block of Veriboard ready to use as sort of bus bars, I suppose. All the 0 volts go there, all the plus 5 volts go there, and then all the other bits go between them, and it's so satisfying to slowly, it's like giving an amazing Technicolor haircut, because you slowly get rid of all these wires and they all end up really neat and tidy and going just to the right place and not floating around. It's so satisfying. Wires. Ooh, it's so exciting. Look, all the ground wires go to that, all the plus 5 wires go to that, from all the different elements, shall we say. Now I've got the Ujima flip thing holding a header, 90-degree header pins there, which are going to plug into the side of the Arduino. Having that up here just makes it so much easier to solder all the other connections on the data connections. And if you look at my plans, in actual fact there's no connections to the analog pins or the other bits on the right hand side other than power. All of the connections go up here. Here's the end of the USB wire, and when I plug it in, the Arduino will be run from power, the USB power from the laptop, and again you don't want to draw too much from that. And if you've got other things connected to it, oops, just remember there was one more connection to unplug, because it's an easy mistake to make. Plug this into a USB plug, and if you've got 0 volts and plus 5 volts connect to other stuff, it'll draw tons of current through it, and again will, or could, release the blue smoke, which I don't want to do. I check the laptop knows which one it is, so I'll get the wire out of the way. Tools, board Uno, port, yeah, COM7. Let's click the upload, which will compile it and upload it. Where do we see progress? Progress is over here. Yeah, it's green, it's uploading, it's done it. No error messages. Fantastic. Done uploading. Right. Spot on, straight away, everything working. Motor works, everything does, which is great, and the PIR sensor works. Oh, it's lovely. So I'm going to screw this one together, not screw it up, but screw it together and put the lens on and everything, and we'll see what it looks like.